warming movement really is a Malthusian drive to keep the slaves oppressed and to prevent the most desperate people on the planet from pulling themselves out of destitution and despair. And it's even worse than what Paul Watson wrote. I mean, when you look at all the statistics and you look at what moderate decade cuts into 2022, I think it's the next 12 years, you look at those numbers, and if they make even moderate cuts, and it was right at double, just shy of double the cuts in the treaty they wanted Africa and Latin America and poorer areas of Asia to sign on to, if they made those cuts, it would conservatively kill an additional billion people. There are over 100 million people, according to the UN's own numbers, on the edge of starvation every year. More than 15 million people starve to death a year. In fact, I want to double-check that number. Guys, pull up yearly total number of people that starve to death each year. I believe it's higher than 15 million, and Lord Monckton gave the numbers of how an additional 5 to 7 million starved to death the last 3 years because of the biofuels. Oh, it's so sick. Now, again, if it's a biofuel from corn that would be used for food, it's bad. There's nothing wrong with taking garbage and food refuse and turning it into biofuels. I mean, that's a good idea. And it is true that biofuels produce less toxic waste. I mean, we're not here saying that oil is completely clean, far from it. And we spend so much of our time and energy just figuring out what to do with it. But, I mean, you just can't make the decision to say there's too many Africans, there's too many people, we've got to cut their food off. I mean, that is just an immoral decision that I will not, in an elitist fashion, because I'm not an elitist, but these average people, people making $100,000 a year, $50,000 a year, they think they're elitist. And it's just the, oh, there it is. Every year, 15 million children die of hunger. So it's 15 million children. Throughout the 1990s, more than 100 million children will die from illness and starvation. Scroll down, though. I want to see where this website gets its facts. I don't know this particular site. Oh, they're using UNICEF numbers. Yeah, I mean, probably accurate because that's the number I had already from the UN. Yeah, it's UNICEF. Scroll down to the bottom. Let's see if they have a fact line. I don't doubt those numbers. That's what it looks like. But I want to, yeah, it's World Bank numbers. But I want to actually pull up a mainstream news article because people won't believe that. And I'm really trying now. So what I do is I always go from memory on issues. And I knew it was 15 million. I guess it's children, so there's even more adults. What is it? 5 to 7 million adults then, I guess. So the total's over 20 mil. I mean, I know that number. I've seen it millions of times. Hundreds and hundreds of times. But I'm trying to focus myself to always double check everything. Double check everything. And everyone should do that. Because you need to actually see these numbers for yourself. You don't need to just hear Alex Jones talk about it and then just say, "Oh, so what? I'm an environmentalist." Cut off their resources. And that's how they sold the well-meaning liberals for the Copenhagen Treaty, or tried to sell them, was, "Oh, we're going to help everybody. We're going to take money from the West and give it to the third world." It was actually the opposite. It's giving it all to the banks. We'll be right back.
We all know that the Berkey water purification systems are the most trusted name in water filtration. As an authorized Berkey dealer for over 4 years and serving thousands of satisfied customers, the Berkey Guy offers amazing specials for Berkey water systems. The revolutionary Berkey light systems include a set of self-sterilizing and re-cleanable black purification elements that purify water by removing chlorine, pathogenic bacteria, cysts, and parasites to non-detectable levels, and removes harmful chemicals such as herbicides and pesticides. Order the Berkey light system today, complete with 2 black Berkey elements for only $209, and the Berkey Guy will include 3 Sport Berkey water bottles and ship everything to you free of charge. That's right, 3 Sport Berkey water bottles and free shipping, an $87 value, yours free, but only for a limited time. Just call the Berkey Guy at 1-877-886-3653 now to order. That's 1-877-886-3653, or order online now at GoBerkey.com. That's GoBerkey.com today.
one major world crisis away from having a totalitarian type of system.
The main event is the wholesale destruction of the world economy.
The push for every nation on the globe to identify and number all of its citizens.
Friends, I hope that you will order Shadow Government from Infowars.com. We also have some specials where you can get some of our other films half price when you order Shadow Government. A new level in production quality and in information. It exposes how a cashless society, surveillance beast grid of total control is being put into place. This film needs to be seen. Everybody needs to get it. So order yours today. Show it to your friends, your family, your church, your neighbors, your boss, your employees. Shadow Government, ladies and gentlemen. Get your copy at Infowars.com today. Shadow Government. It gives Big Brother a black eye. Available at Infowars.com or by calling toll-free 888-253-3139.
Jim Newcomer from Midas Resources, January 26, 2010. Gold opened this morning at $1086.80. A 1-ounce gold coin can be purchased for $1116.70, $558.35 for a half ounce, and $279.17 for the quarter ounce. That's $1116.70, $558.35, and $279.17.
On June 4th, 1963, Executive Order 11,110 was signed with the authority to strip the Federal Reserve Bank of its power to lend money to the United States government and interest. With the stroke of a pen, Kennedy would have put the Fed out of business. The November assassination quieted the production of the new currency. However, the executive order still stands unrepealed. Midas has the Kennedy versus Fed document. Call 800-686-2237. Unlike your Liberty, the paper is free. Call 800-686-2237. If you're interested in breaking the bondage of taxation and debt, call 800-686-2237. That's 800-686-2237.
Have your house payments skyrocketed under an adjustable rate mortgage? Have you been laid off or had your hours cut? Are balloon payments coming due? You need help from MortgageFraudExaminers.com. To stop the housing crisis, Congress and the White House are pinning their hopes on homeowners renegotiating their mortgages. The trouble is, the banks are saying no 80% of the time. MortgageFraudExaminers.com can help you get the leverage you need to turn things around. They estimate that up to 85% of all mortgages are legally deficient. MortgageFraudExaminers.com can perform forensic loan audits and appraisals to find legal deficits in your mortgage. It's like CSI for your home loan. Banks and lenders suddenly start cooperating when faced with a lawsuit for violating lending laws or appraisal fraud. Find out how MortgageFraudExaminers.com can help you. Visit MortgageFraudExaminers.com or call 800-540-EXAM. That's 800-540-3926.
This is the end, beautiful friend. This is the end, my only friend, the end of our elaborate plans, the end of everything that stands, the end, no safety or surprise, the end.
I'll never look into your eyes.
I'll never look into your eyes.
I love humanity. I love looking into people's eyes. Windows to the soul.
Can you picture what will be?
Okay, Reverend James Manning, always fiery, always powerful, joining us in the next segment. Some of the giant stacks of news I haven't gotten to yet. Iraq littered with high levels of nuclear and waste and dioxin contamination, study finds. Depleted uranium among poisons revealed. They have had more than a quadrupling of birth defects in Iraq in all the areas where DU was used. The troops are coming back. That even happened in the first Gulf War, having massive birth defects in their children, massive lung problems. And until the early 1990s, the Army reports. In fact, I want to get Dr. Doug Rockey back on, guys, because he wrote the Army manual on it. He got sick from it. They knew it was deadly. They knew it was deadly in the 50s, but they wanted to get rid of the nuclear spent fuel rods. And so they're now serving it out, even not just in tank ammo, Sabos fired from the Abrams, or Warthog A-10 Vulcan guns. That's what it's called, the big Gatling gun. It's now basically being served out, 50 cal, you name it, into smaller ammunition and being used everywhere and being used in more than 10 proving grounds we've identified here in the United States. I mean, it is mega poisonous, mega radioactive, and the particles are so small. When it gets in your lungs, it just keeps devastating DNA. And we've got that report I'm going to be going over. An amazing constitutional lawyer we're working on getting on the show. The video's up on Infowars.com and PrisonPlanet.com. Went into the Denver, well, it's the county there that Denver is located in, went into the naked body scanner they've got to go in the courthouse. He's a lawyer who has cases to try there, and they just said, no, you're not coming in. You're going to be recorded. We're going to scan your naked body. But the good news is, clearly, there's going to be a lawsuit. And they're trying to put these in all over the country. I've seen reports of California, Texas moving to get them, and mobile vans in England and